Have you ever wondered why the dream you chase always seems to slip through your fingers? Why you speak your affirmations, visualize the future, read every book that promises abundance, and yet your life circles the same patterns of waiting, trying, and disappointment? The world tells you that you can create anything, that the universe listens, and still, most people whisper their wishes into the dark and hear nothing echo back. There is a secret inside that silence, a missing piece that has been buried beneath centuries of noise. It is not forbidden because it's dangerous, but because it's too simple for the mind that loves complexity. You've been told to want harder, to focus longer, to imagine brighter. But the paradox is cruel. The very act of reaching keeps what you seek at a distance. It's like standing before a door that was never locked, shaking the handle until your hands bleed, never realizing it opens only when you stop trying to force it. Most have been given the wrong key: affirmations, wish lists, and endless rituals that promise to turn desire into gold. You twist the key of effort again and again, sometimes with hope, sometimes with tears, but the safe stays closed. So you begin to wonder, is the treasure even real? Is manifestation just another beautiful lie? But here lies the truth whispered between worlds. The safe was never sealed. The door never needed to be opened, only remembered. It responds not to pressure, but to presence. It opens when your energy becomes quiet enough to match its rhythm. Because manifestation has never been about demand. It has always been about alignment. Reality does not bend for the words you say. It bends for the vibration you hold. You can say, "I am abundant," 1,000 times. But if beneath your voice there hums a song of lack, the universe will play that song back to you. You've been taught that when things don't work, the answer is to do more. More visualizations, more affirmations, more rituals. But more of the wrong frequency only amplifies the noise. It's not quantity that changes the field, it's coherence. It's the quiet harmony between your heart and your being. The universe does not listen to your words, it listens to your state. And the state of trying is the energy of not yet. That is why the harder you try to manifest, the further your dream seems to drift away, like chasing a shadow that retreats as you run toward it. When you finally stop chasing, the light returns to your hands. You begin to see that the treasure you've been searching for was never behind a locked door. It has always lived within the stillness that you kept passing by. You can visualize love every night. You can light candles, whisper mantras, imagine the perfect embrace. But if the quiet frequency beneath your ribs still hums, "I am not enough," the universe will echo that vibration until the room feels colder than before. This is the hidden precision of creation. The universe is not cruel, it is exact. It doesn't listen to your words, it listens to your resonance. It doesn't give you what you wish for, it gives you what you are. And here lies the paradox no one likes to face. When your manifestation fails, it is not evidence of the system's flaw. It is proof of its perfection. Every unanswered prayer, every delayed outcome, is the field showing you the symmetry of your own state. That truth can feel harsh, but it is also the doorway to freedom, because it means the power was never in the stars, never in luck, never in chance. It was always humming quietly in the space behind your breath. Coherence. That's the missing element, the alignment between your thoughts, your energy, your being. So if manifestation is not about desire, then what is it really about? What is the mysterious state that turns invisible potential into physical form? How does a possibility become a tangible world? Science has whispered the answer in the language of equations, while mysticism has sung it through centuries of silence. Both point to the same architecture, the hidden framework of existence itself. And when you understand it, the puzzle no longer feels forbidden. It becomes the simplest, most natural truth. Reality listens to the observer. At the frontier of quantum physics lies a principle so strange that even the sharpest minds wrestle with its meaning. The world you touch and see isn't solid until you look at it. Before observation, everything exists only as a shimmering sea of possibilities, waves vibrating in multiple states at once. This is what Heisenberg tried to tell us. You cannot know both the position and the motion of a particle, because until it is witnessed, it exists only as potential. Reality, then, is not fixed. It is fluid, alive, waiting for someone to decide what it shall become. The chair you sit on, the light in your room, even the breath you draw right now. None of it is concrete until your consciousness chooses it into being. This is not poetic mysticism, this is quantum architecture. Reality does not pre-exist as a rigid machine. It arises in the sacred instant of observation. And here's where manifestation steps onto the stage. The field always responds to observation. The only question is, from what state are you observing? If you look at life through the eyes of lack, the wave collapses into more emptiness. If you observe through fear, you summon reflections of danger. But if you gaze from the wholeness within you, the field unfolds as abundance, peace, and proof that you were never missing anything. The universe is a flawless mirror. It has no choice but to reflect the energy of its observer. This is why Neville Goddard's ancient teaching, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is not merely philosophy, it is physics, breathing through the heart. Your state is the blueprint. Your being is the command that tells reality how to take shape. And here lies the secret most people never see. Desire is not the observer. Hope is not the observer. Even visualization, when born from longing, is not the true observer. The observer is the state of being that you embody in this very breath. The universe doesn't care for your vocabulary. It listens to your coherence. You can speak of abundance while humming scarcity. You can pray for love while your body still vibrates rejection. The words fade into static, but the energy always speaks clearly. This is why so many manifestations collapse before they begin. They try to shape one frequency while transmitting another. Science at its most daring edge confirms what mystics have known all along, that everything is connected, even across the vastness of space. Through quantum entanglement, particles separated by galaxies still move as one, as if whispering through a channel beyond distance and time. And so it is with you and your desires. The version of reality you long for already exists, woven into the field, entangled with you. But entanglement is not destiny. It only becomes real when you embody the vibration that matches it. Until then, it remains a shimmering probability just beyond the reach of your fingertips. This is what ancient mystics called the God state, the frequency of wholeness, the inner stillness where nothing inside you argues with what you want. In that state, the observer and the observed dissolve into one. You are no longer reaching for the vision, you are the vibration of it. And when that harmony clicks into place, the field has no choice but to mirror coherence back to you. Manifestation, then, is not a matter of effort. It is the natural byproduct of alignment. But here comes the riddle that few resolve. If coherence is the secret, how do we create it? How do we move from the chaos of thought and doubt into a state where everything within us sings the same note? The mind alone cannot do it. Thought is too fragile, too easily swept away by fear. You can think of abundance one second and spiral into worry the next. The signal becomes fractured, a radio flickering between stations, broadcasting only noise. The universe cannot tune into a frequency that keeps changing. The missing ingredient has never been intensity. It has always been harmony. When the heart, the brain, and the body begin to move in rhythm with one another, a unified signal forms, clear, magnetic, whole. Modern science calls this heart-brain coherence. Mystics once called it divine union. Different languages, same truth. When coherence rises, the heart's electromagnetic field expands and organizes. The brain begins to synchronize with it, and the entire body vibrates as one luminous tone. In that moment, the field recognizes the signal, a song it was waiting to hear all along. Without coherence, the system scatters. The heart beats unevenly. The mind races through regrets and fears. The body floods itself with the chemistry of survival. You might visualize abundance, but the signal you're sending is that of a storm, not serenity. The field does not respond to what you ask for. It responds to what you are. And a fragmented state can only collapse into fragmented results. A coherent state always collapses into a coherent reality. That is why gratitude, love, and presence hold such power. They tune the system into order, sending clarity through the quantum field like music that finally finds its rhythm. But coherence is not just emotional, it is measurable, tangible, and profoundly practical. Research from the HeartMath Institute reveals that when people enter genuine states of appreciation or compassion, the heart's rhythm transforms into smooth flowing waves. The brain synchronizes with this rhythm, opening a doorway to heightened intuition, perception, and creation. In that state, the body no longer argues with itself. It speaks one language, one signal, one truth. Imagine the contrast between a fractured orchestra, each instrument lost in its own noise, and a symphony moving as one breath. Only harmony can move the audience. The field responds the same way. It mirrors coherence, not chaos. This is also why affirmations so often fail. You can repeat, "I am abundant," endlessly, but if your body still vibrates with anxiety, your signal is divided. The field does not echo your words, it amplifies your state. When coherence is present, no words are necessary. The signal is already whole. That is why some people manifest effortlessly, while others wrestle with the same desires for years. The difference is not luck or divine favoritism, it is alignment. The body attuned with the heart attuned with the mind attuned with the frequency of already being. And here the puzzle tightens. If coherence is the missing key, can it be created at will? Can we summon alignment deliberately instead of waiting for rare flashes of joy or inspiration? The answer is yes. There are precise ways to use breath, focus, and embodiment to shift instantly into coherence, to transmit a unified frequency into the field. This is where the hidden science turns into living practice. Knowledge alone is an open circuit. It sparks, but never lights the room. You can understand coherence intellectually, even feel awe at its beauty, but unless it is lived, the field remains still. Coherence must become a frequency that breathes through you, not an idea you think about. And this is where ritual enters, not as superstition, but as structure. A repeatable path that carries you from fragmentation into wholeness. The embodiment ritual is not reserved for mystics or masters. It is simple, direct, and powerful because it bypasses thought and speaks straight to the body, the heart, in the field. Begin by finding a quiet space, one where your body can rest undisturbed. Sit with your spine upright or lie down with awareness awake. Close your eyes and let the external world fade into the background. Now inhale deeply through your nose, drawing the breath into your belly, then into your chest, filling your lungs completely. As you breathe in, imagine the quantum field flowing into you. Every possibility, every potential, entering with that breath. At the peak of the inhale, pause. Silently declare within, "I live." This is the recognition of existence, the remembrance that you are not separate from the field, but an extension of it. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting the breath leave you in a steady stream. As you release, whisper inwardly, in coherence. This is the anchoring, the embodiment, the return to yourself. With each breath, the body stops being a machine and becomes a messenger of truth. You are no longer simply inhaling air. You are inhaling existence itself. You are not exhaling carbon. You are exhaling alignment. Inhale and whisper inwardly, "I live." Exhale and feel, incoherence. Inhale potential. Exhale alignment. At first, the rhythm feels mechanical, a task, a pattern. But as the breath deepens, something ancient begins to awaken. The body softens. The heart remembers its natural pulse. The mind begins to quiet, as if surrendering to a music it once knew. With every cycle, your system reorganizes itself. The heart stops rushing to chase. The mind stops reaching to fix. The nervous system, once scattered by fear, begins to hum in unison with peace. You can almost feel the signal you're broadcasting. No longer a storm of contradictions, but a single, steady wave of coherence rippling through the quantum field. Keep breathing. At first, your thoughts will wander. They will try to pull you back into effort. That is what the mind does. But the breath is wiser. It will guide you home each time you drift. Every inhale rewires memory. Every exhale releases a static. Soon the shift won't be an idea you understand, but a vibration you become. You'll feel it as a hum beneath the skin, a warmth behind the heart, a stillness that doesn't silence life. It deepens it. The mind feels less like a crowded room and more like a quiet lake reflecting clarity. This is the embodiment ritual, simple, ancient, direct. Not mysticism, not performance, but a science of returning to wholeness. And here's the secret most forget. This ritual is not something you do. It's something you remember. Every time you breathe this way, you teach your cells the language of alignment. You show your body what harmony feels like, until harmony becomes your home. You stop performing coherence and begin living it. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." It is not a command to pretend, but a call to rehearse, to feel until feeling becomes form, until the inner frequency becomes the outer fact. Now comes the anchoring, not just within your body, but within the collective field. When you type the words, "I live in coherence," you're not posting a comment, you're transmitting a vibration. Each declaration strengthens the resonance, each word multiplies the field's rhythm. One person in coherence can shift a room, 1,000 in coherence can shift the world. Because what we embody alone is influence, but what we embody together is evolution. And yet, there remains one last illusion, the most seductive of them all, the illusion of waiting. You complete the ritual, you breathe, you affirm, you visualize, and then you wait. You look outward, scanning your circumstances for evidence that it worked. You check your reality like a scientist peering through a microscope, searching for the first sign of change. Days pass, weeks pass, sometimes months. When the outer world doesn't shift quickly enough, the mind whispers, "Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe I'm not enough." This is the trap of delayed reality, the belief that manifestation happens in the future rather than in the now. The truth is far more precise. Waiting creates waiting. The moment you vibrate in the frequency of "not yet," the field mirrors it perfectly. Not yet, not yet, not yet. You may believe you are being patient, but in the quantum field, patience often disguises postponement. The universe, flawless in its honesty, does not deliver what you want. It delivers what you are. If you embody waiting, you will receive more reasons to wait. If you embody lack, you will see endless reflections of absence. The future becomes a moving horizon, always one step further, never quite arriving. And this is the cruel beauty of the field. It cannot lie. It is not withholding your creation. It is matching your frequency. You see, reality is not something you chase down. It's something you collapse into coherence with. When you embody the vibration of having, the field mirrors having. When you embody being, the field mirrors being. When you embody waiting, the mirror reflects an eternal wait. The universe does not reward effort. It responds to alignment. Because the quantum field is not sentimental, it is precise. It will always match you, not comfort you. So the next time you find yourself waiting, ask yourself softly, what state am I broadcasting? The breath can answer more truthfully than thought ever could. Breathe in presence, breathe out coherence. Breathe until waiting dissolves and only being remains. Because the real manifestation is not in the future. It's here, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this moment that never waits. This is why so many people remain trapped in cycles of longing. They think they are manifesting, but in truth, they are rehearsing delay, calling it hope, naming it faith, but feeling underneath it the quiet vibration of waiting. Imagine tuning a radio. You don't plead with the station to play your song. You don't sit in silence praying that the music will arrive on its own. You turn the dial, you align with the frequency, and the instant you find it, the melody is there. Not summoned, not delayed, simply received. Manifestation is no different. The broadcast of your desired reality is already playing. The God frequency has never stopped transmitting. The question has never been whether the signal exists. It has always been, are you tuned to it right now? Every so-called failure of manifestation is, in fact, proof that the field is flawless. Each moment of lack, frustration, or delay is not punishment, but precision. It is evidence that the universe mirrors you without distortion. You were not ignored. You were simply tuned to the wrong song. The mirror was never broken. It reflected you with perfect honesty. And what you felt as disappointment wasn't rejection, but feedback. Once you see that, everything shifts. You realize that failure is not failure, it is direction. The universe is not blocking you. It is guiding you to refine the dial until the static clears. The trap of delayed reality begins to dissolve the moment you understand that manifestation is immediate, because state is immediate. Science quietly echoes this truth. The brain is not a camera recording what is. It is a sculptor predicting what will be. Your nervous system constantly projects expectation into the world, shaping what you see, what you notice, what you attract. Reality doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. Your future is not waiting somewhere down a linear path. It is being built, breath by breath, by the state you inhabit right now. The body is not a passenger, it is the builder. The field is not distant, it is your reflection in motion. To live in delay is to construct delay. To live in coherence is to construct coherence. This is why so many can touch the God state in meditation, and then lose it the moment they open their eyes. The instant they look outward for confirmation asking, "Has it worked yet?" they fall back into the frequency of waiting. They leave the broadcast and re-enter the static. The challenge has never been accessing the God state. It has always been remaining there. When life tests you, when nothing outside seems to match the inside, when the mirror still reflects the old world. This is the crucible of mastery, to hold coherence even when the reflection lags behind. Because reality does not update instantly, it responds precisely with the same tempo as your conviction. To live the hidden science of manifestation, you must reverse the sequence completely. Stop waiting for proof before you embody. Embody first, and proof will follow like light after dawn. And this leads to the final revelation, the vision that closes the entire loop. If the field mirrors your state instantly, then true mastery has nothing to do with rituals, techniques, or endless striving. It is not a list to complete, nor a ladder to climb. It is the art of being coherent now. Not sometimes, not in meditation, not when conditions align, but as your default nature. The question that remains is simple, yet seismic. How do you step beyond practice into permanence? How do you stop touching coherence and start living it? That is the secret we are about to unlock. The way to inhabit the hidden science of quantum manifestation every single day. And here lies the paradox. The hidden science is not hidden because it is difficult. It is hidden because it is simple. And simplicity is the one thing the restless mind refuses to accept. The mind hungers for complexity, for 10-step rituals, for formulas dressed as secrets. It wants to earn reality instead of allow it. But truth has always been here. Quiet, effortless, patient. Reality collapses according to your state of being, not your words, not your waiting, not your desperate attempts to convince the field. The field does not listen to what you say, it listens to what you are. And in that stillness, everything you've been trying to reach was never distant at all. It was simply waiting for you to match it. The God state is not an achievement. It is a remembrance, a return to what you have always been. It is not a summit you climb toward, but the ground that has carried you since the beginning. To live in the God state each day is to reverse the very pattern of life you were taught to follow. Most people let the external world dictate their inner world. When the account is full, they feel secure. When the relationship is stable, they feel loved. When the body is healthy, they feel grateful. But this is the illusion. The outside was never meant to lead. It was meant to follow. Outcomes are reflections, not causes. And when you let the reflection control the mirror, you lose the power that created it. You become a passenger in a world you were born to direct. The hidden science invites you to invert this order. Choose coherence first. Choose embodiment first. Let the mirror follow your vibration. This is not denial. It is creation in its truest form. Science tells us perception is predictive. Your brain does not record reality, it builds it. Moment by moment, it projects expectation into form. Spirituality calls this by another name. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you live this way, the future no longer waits somewhere ahead of you. It walks beside you. It moves through you. Every breath becomes alignment. Every thought becomes coherence. Every action becomes embodiment. You stop practicing manifestation. You start becoming it. And this is the liberation. Permanence does not mean perfection. Storms will still come. Life will still test you. But in the God state, you do not collapse when the mirror lags. You breathe. You remain coherent. You remember. And the field aligns in time. The real mastery is not in avoiding chaos, but in remembering your stillness within it. To live the hidden science daily means refusing to return to waiting, to longing, to lack. It means choosing coherence again and again until it becomes the only language your body knows. And when you do, something extraordinary happens. The world begins to shift with you. Each person who lives in coherence adds their vibration to the collective field. Each heart that beats in harmony strengthens the resonance for others to awaken. Every breath you take in coherence ripples beyond the self, a silent reminder that we are all part of one great field of creation. This is why presence matters, why stillness matters, why community matters. Because the hidden science is not a private secret, it is a universal law. And when more of us live from it daily, the mirror of the world will reflect a higher order of being for everyone. There is nothing left to wait for, no door to unlock, no ritual to master. The truth has been waiting behind your breath all along. You are not waiting for the door to open. You are the door. You are not begging the mirror to change. You are the reflection awakening. When you live this, not as effort, but as essence, not as ritual, but as remembrance, the universe has no choice but to respond in perfect symmetry. Because coherence is not something you do. It is what you are when you finally stop searching. You are the frequency. You are the field. You are the God state revealed.